Berlin, 1961. In the middle of a sleeping city, soldiers roll out barbed wire and concrete. Families are separated overnight, lovers torn apart. And a wall begins to rise, one that would divide not only a city but an entire world. This is not just the story of the Berlin Wall you've been told in history class. This is the untold story, the secrets, the lies, and the strange truth about why the wall was built and how it really fell. The Berlin Wall didn't appear overnight. Its foundations were laid years earlier, not in concrete, but in fear. After World War II, Germany was split into 4 zones. Berlin, deep in Soviet-controlled territory, was also divided between the East and the West. But something unexpected happened. From 1949 to 1961, over 3 million East Germans fled to the West, many through Berlin. Doctors, engineers, students, the young and the bright were escaping in droves. For the communist regime in East Germany, this was humiliating. So Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev ordered, "Stop the bleeding." In secret, East German leader Walter Ulbricht prepared a plan that would trap his own citizens inside. August 13, 1961. Without warning, soldiers flooded the streets of Berlin. Barbed wire, machine guns, floodlights. Families woke up on opposite sides of the city. Workers who lived in the East but worked in the West were cut off forever. No one had been told. Not even many government officials knew what was happening. It was one of the most coordinated and secretive operations of the Cold War. Within days, the barbed wire turned into brick. And soon, the brick became the Berlin Wall, a fortress of concrete, guards, and death. But here's what few people know. The West didn't stop it. U.S. President John F. Kennedy knew about the plan to build a barrier, and he chose not to intervene. Why? Because the flood of East German refugees was creating chaos in West Berlin. And as cruel as it was, the wall would stabilize the situation. Privately, Kennedy said, "It's not a very nice solution, but a wall is a hell of a lot better than a war." So while the world condemned the construction publicly, behind closed doors, it was tolerated. For the next 28 years, the wall cut through streets, homes, and lives. More than 5,000 people tried to escape. Some made it, crawling through tunnels, building hot air balloons, or swimming canals. But at least 140 were killed, maybe more. One story still haunts Berlin. Peter Fechter, an 18-year-old bricklayer, was shot as he tried to climb the wall in 1962. He lay there for nearly an hour, bleeding to death, while Western journalists watched helplessly from the other side. His death became a symbol of a divided world. The Berlin Wall wasn't just about keeping people in. It was about keeping fear alive. It reminded every citizen of the East that leaving meant death. And it reminded the world that the Soviet Union's workers' paradise was so perfect. People had to be imprisoned inside it. The wall became the ultimate symbol of oppression and of a fragile empire built on lies. Then, one night in November 1989, a mistake changed history. During a press conference, East German official Günter Schabowski misread a note announcing that citizens could travel immediately. Crowds rushed to the checkpoints. Guards, confused and unprepared, made a choice that would end an era. They opened the gates. And just like that, the wall that divided millions fell without a single shot. When the wall came down, it felt like freedom had won. But the story didn't end there. Many East Germans found themselves lost in the new capitalist system. Even today, decades later, there's still a visible divide in culture, income, and identity between East and West. The Berlin Wall may be gone, but its shadow still stretches across Europe. The Berlin Wall wasn't just concrete and barbed wire. It was the physical proof that fear can divide, and truth can eventually break through. And perhaps the greatest lesson it left us is this: no wall lasts forever. If you want to keep understanding the world we live in, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.